Water is disappearing, wells are running dry, farms are dying. While communities scramble for every drop, powerful corporations are quietly buying up rights to America's most precious resource, water. Who owns the water? This isn't just a legal question, it's about survival, because the next great battle in America isn't over oil or gold, it's over water, and it's already underway. In La Paz County, Arizona, residents watch their wells go dry as foreign corporations pump tens of thousands of acre-feet from ancient aquifers. In California's Central Valley, Wall Street firms spend millions not for crops, but for the water rights under the soil. In Iowa, Google's data center uses over 1 billion gallons of water a year, enough to supply 28,000 homes, just to keep its servers cool. This is America's water war, and it's not just about who drinks or irrigates, it's about who profits, who controls, and who decides whether water remains a human right or becomes a luxury asset traded on markets. Over a quarter of the U.S. is in drought. Lake Mead is 31% full. Aquifers are being drained faster than they can refill. To understand how we got here, we need to look at the laws that shaped water rights in America. In the East, water was shared. Landowners along a river split access. But in the dry West, miners in the 1800s claimed water with the rule, first in time, first in right. That idea became law in the 1855 case Irwin versus Phillips, where whoever used water first got to keep using it, even if they didn't own the land around it. This turned water into a property right, something you could buy, sell, and move across counties. Hedge funds and corporations now collect water like real estate, sometimes without ever using it. There is a counterbalance, the public trust doctrine, which says states must protect water for public benefit. That idea won in cases like National Audubon Society versus Superior Court, where ecological protection was prioritized, but enforcement is inconsistent, and corporations exploit the gaps. Indigenous water rights, recognized in Winters v. United States, 1908, often predate all others. Yet many tribal rights are still unquantified and unenforced, leaving native communities dry while others pump. Into this broken legal system stepped the new water barons, Wall Street hedge funds, foreign governments, and big tech. Water Asset Management, a New York fund, has bought over 18,000 acres in Arizona and the Pacific Northwest, not to farm but to bank groundwater in areas where it can be piped to thirsty cities. In 2023, they paid $100 million for land that sold for $30 million a decade earlier. Greenstone Resource Partners sold just the water rights from one Arizona parcel for $21 million, proving you can separate water from land and cash in. In 2020, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange launched the first U.S. water futures market, putting water alongside oil and corn as a tradable commodity. Critics warn this could trigger price bubbles and speculation that ignore human need. Meanwhile, foreign firms exploit America's weak water protections. Saudi-owned Fondo Monte pumped tens of thousands of acre-feet annually for alfalfa bound for export, paying only $20 per acre-foot, while Sandegans pay $730 for the same water. The UAE-based Aldara uses up to 16,000 acre-feet annually in McMullen Valley. The water table there has dropped nearly 450 feet since 1957. Australian mining giant South32 has permits to withdraw 2 billion gallons a year, more than the entire county uses. Tech giants, too, are thirsty. Google's Iowa Center used 1.3 billion gallons in 2024. Microsoft used 953 million gallons in 2018. Amazon's water use? Hard to know. They don't disclose much. These corporations externalize the costs, communities pay the price, wells run dry, land subsides, roads crack, dust chokes the air. How do they gain control? Loopholes and legal tricks. Water banking allows unused water rights to be stored and traded. Arizona's market grew from 50,000 acre-feet in 2009 to over 375,000 in 2018. California traded 700,000 acre-feet worth $500 million that same year. These transfers are often opaque. Many states lack monopoly caps or public interest safeguards. Developers can buy farm water rights to enable subdivisions, while communities lose both farms and water. Foreign firms export water through crops and livestock feed. taking without returning. Local users pay the price. In Wendon, Arizona, wells have failed since 2015. Residents haul water while corporations pump freely. Subsidence in McMullen Valley has sunk land by 4 feet since 1991. Cracked homes, collapsed roads, dust storms, and none of it regulated. Meanwhile, San Diego pays $148 million annually to buy water from Imperial Valley farmers, 40% of its water supply. Residents face rising bills locked into contracts through 2047. Indigenous tribes are often ignored despite senior water rights. Infrastructure shortfalls and legal delays prevent them from accessing what's rightfully theirs, and nature suffers. Wetlands dry, habitats vanish. The Colorado River Delta, once a vibrant wetland, is now a ghost of its former self. Family farms, some dating back to the Dust Bowl, are being priced out, not by weather, but by Wall Street. Urban centers face rising water costs, shrinking access, and volatility as financial players corner the market. And climate change makes everything worse. By 2050, stream flows in key rivers could drop by 35%. The Ogallala aquifer could be half depleted in Texas by 2060. Lake Mead and Lake Powell are already at crisis levels. This scarcity fuels speculation. Water futures began at $500 per acre foot in 2020, spiked to $892, and now hover around $383. Just like oil, just like gold, water is becoming a speculative asset. Investment firms target transportation basins with loose laws and mobile groundwater. They're not solving scarcity, they're betting on it. Tipping points loom. The Colorado River Compact must be renegotiated in 2026. Central Valley must manage groundwater by 2042 or face shutdowns. Ogallala could run dry by century's end, but there is hope and resistance. In 2023, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs ended Fondamonte's leases. Years of activism forced action. By 2024, the pumping stopped. Tribes have won major victories. In 2025, a $5 billion federal settlement secured 56,000 acre-feet of Colorado River water for northeastern Arizona tribes. Congress authorized $842 million for tribal water projects. Legal victories offer precedent. The Mono Lake ruling showed that environmental protections can trump permits. The 2020 County of Maui versus Hawaii Wildlife Fund case strengthened Clean Water Act protections. Grassroots groups are organizing. The Detroit Water Brigade stopped shutoffs. Wellington Water Watchers helped halt Nestlé's groundwater grabs in Ontario. In Arizona and New Mexico, co-ops and small communities are drilling wells, restoring arsenic treatment systems, and reclaiming control. Cities are turning to tech. Orange County's recycling system produces 100 million gallons daily. San Diego's Pure Water program now provides a third of the city's drinking supply via recycled wastewater. States like Washington and Colorado are pushing anti-speculation laws. They're enforcing actual use rules and limiting ownership by non-farmers or absentee investors. We know what works. We just need the will. Communities must organize across party lines, environmentalists, conservatives, farmers, labor, and indigenous nations, because water cuts across all ideologies. Here's how you can help. Get informed. Learn how your local water system works. Show up. Attend public meetings. Speak out. Ask questions. Build alliances. Partner with climate, tribal, farming, and social justice groups. Demand transparency. Who's using water? Who's trading it? Who's profiting? Support public solutions. Water recycling, local utilities, community wells. Vote. Elect leaders who treat water as a public trust, not a tradable asset. This isn't just about policy, it's about identity. One future turns water into a luxury, the other protects it as a shared right. The battle is already underway, in boardrooms, basements, courtrooms, and fields. The choice is still ours, the time is now, the water is waiting. To learn more, support your local water justice groups. Visit SovereignAcre, demand action, because water is life and who owns it will shape our future.